Mm.
All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties. I know we went way beyond, but it's 11:22, so we are still within the golden hour.
Now we're on the mastery number of the 11s because 22 is the
Yeah.
master number. So there's always a divine spiritual organizing going on in the causal realm.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, welcome everybody to my YouTube channel, All That Is. I'm so grateful to be here on this Divine Mother's Day, honoring the Divine Mother energies. And I'm so glad to be here with the two women that embody this energy, Shekinah Grace and Shekinah Ma, that have come into my reality in such a divine and synchronistic way. And so I just want to honor these two beings for being here today and taking the time off to spend this time with us.
Mm.
But before we get into our discussion, I just want to tune ourselves in and just let go of the difficulties that we faced coming in, and just tuning into that divine energy of the mother energies. So, if you want to just take a deep breath in, if you're joining us, welcome, and I hope you can join us in this very brief meditation. So, taking a deep breath in and just bringing our focus to our heart center and bringing our energies into that energy of gratitude and just bringing forth that mother energy of calm, of beauty, and of just being present. And as we go forth in our discussion today, we would like to anchor those energies into the Divine Mother of quietness in our hearts and the energy of just calmness, of tenderness, and of gentleness and of sensitivity in the field. And so, with gratitude, I open my hearts to this vessel and bringing these two beings into my reality in grace and in peace and in harmony. So, welcome, Shekinah Grace. Welcome, Shekinah Ma. Thank you for being here. I'm
Thank you.
happy if you guys would like to offer your own version of prayer. So, if you're feeling called to do that, please go ahead.
Yes. Taking our hands and bringing it to our heart, and the other hand bringing to our womb. And just closing the eyes and allowing for the breath to regulate as the waves of the ocean wash in and wash out in this beautiful primordial dance of creation, of Mother Earth, of the waters of life. This ebbing and flowing, breathing in, breathing out. Just allowing that natural, creative intelligence to bring in that beauty of life into our hearts, into our lungs, filling ourselves up with that beautiful life force energy, and exhaling it back out. It's really a beautiful making love, really, of life as we come in, come out, wax, wane, contract and expand, merging with the divine in this oneness, in this union of creation, of Gaia, of the Divine Mother, of Sophia, of Mother Mary, of Isis, of all the names of all the goddesses, right up into the Shekinah, and all the way down to this Madre Tierra, this Gaia, Pachamama. And as our hands hold both our heart and our wombs, we feel that beautiful heartbeat, which is really one of the most first sounds we have ever heard upon our conception, was that beautiful beating heart of the mother. Just like the Schumann resonance, just like the heartbeat of the Mother Earth, a beautiful drum beat that pumps life and blood into all creation, into our bodies. And we just hold this beautiful, beautiful body of ours as our body was the also first temple. The womb, before there was a cathedral, before there was a church, before there was a building, there was the womb. And the womb was seen as the original temple. The womb was seen as this beautiful birthplace where many various different temple shrines, dolmens, caves, inipi, the sweat lodge, have all been constructed to replicate the place where we come back in to be reborn. And on this very sacred day of the Mother's Day that we are here on the 11th day of May, within this 11th hour, we just bless through our breath, through our heartbeat, through our bones and our blood and our body and the crystalline nature of our beings. We bless, bless, bless up the wombs of the women of the world, of Pachamama, and all the way into this higher dimensional, divine, feminine, light matrix, natrix, cosmos. And we just divinely swirl that with this beautiful ostrich feather. And we just swirl this Sophia blessing of wisdom, grace, compassion, love, Kuan Yin to all, reconnecting the umbilicus right to the sacred, right to the divine mother, right to the divine feminine, right to Pachamama. Reconnecting, realigning, reuniting, healing and clearing, bringing grace and protection on this sacred day. Aho, mitakiyasin to all of our relations. May we all be brought back into that womb of creation to heal and restore our beings now. Shakti blessings to all.
Thank you. So beautiful.
Mm.
Yes, so I'd like to bring in a deep, deep, deep plum purple or dark purple, like the black dahlia flower or a deep, deep purple rose into the womb space. And just seeing that bloom and blossom and shift into an aqua waters, aquamarine. So this deep purple is just helping us to tune in and connect with any deep-seated grief or sadness that has been passed on through the ancestors, through the earth. Anything that we carry that we just want to gently cleanse and wash through our womb temple space. And from the center of this black dahlia or deep purple rose dahlia color comes these aquamarine crystal waters, just cleansing and circulating throughout the womb waters. Just cleansing and clearing, gently clearing, gracefully cleansing, clearing, and lifting any grief or sadness, any feelings of betrayal that need to be lifted up and released through the mother arc, through the aqua portal, right back into the cosmic holy womb of Sophia, of Divine Mother, Holy Mother God. And these crystalline diamond frequency aquamarine waters continue to spin and gently cleanse and wash, expanding beyond the womb and into our entire physical vessel through the body of water, through the bodies of water of all who are present here and all whom come into this field as part of this beautiful moment, this beautiful ceremony and prayer of acknowledgement of the sadness, the grief of the mother, and just staying present with the breath and the sensations you're experiencing in your womb and throughout your body and space and field as you continue to allow just for a few more breaths and moments for this beautiful cleansing of that aquamarine, sparkling diamond frequency that connects us right back into the heart womb of the Holy Mother. And I love that Shekinah Ma mentioned the umbilicus. So there's this like healing and restoration of the original divine blueprint of the umbilical connection, the sacred unification, the reunion of daughter and mother, child and mother, the holy reunion of the child with Holy Mother and Holy Father, but specifically Holy Mother today.
Mm.
Ooh.
And I've just lit the beautiful offerings of sage and tobacco and lavender and rose petals and some yarrow and a lot of just loving, loving, loving plant life, loving plantas. All the beautiful medicines of Mother Earth just clearing and bringing through this wonderful smudge all over the Mother Earth and all over her daughters, all over the matrilineal bloodlines, all through our sacred sisterhood, the maiden, the mother, and the crone, all through the past lines, all through history, her story, all through her story, right back from Eden, right back to the beginning point time as we understand it in all the timelines. Just this beautiful washing over of grace, sacred grace, so that all the bloodlines of all the matrilineal lines may be restored, may have that wonderful release from trauma. And so that we put down the trauma and pick up our beauty way. I see all the women of the world picking up her power, picking up all that has been broken and putting it back together in such a way that it is mended and forged with gold. Golden creator substance, bringing everything restored and connected and sealed. So that in epigenetics, as we say, we can pass on the trauma or we can pass on the healing. And today I declare we pass on this healing of this vibrational frequency. We call in and direct and guide out and share into the four directions, into the four winds that blow. And so that this is carried out into the great holographic sphere of our beautiful Pachamama, right into the Milky Way galaxy and beyond. Hope.
It just started to rain.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
Our trees are blowing in the wind, and I can just see all of our love and prayers are just getting taken right out, and it's going to nurture. It's like we're coating the water of the rain to bring this to the earth.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful energy, isn't it?
Mm.
Thank you, ladies. That was so beautiful. So where do we start, hey? It's just so synchronistic that the three of us came together, and I just want to share our individual stories and how that came to be. For me personally, it was, it was through the common forum, I guess, that we three met through Indigo Angel and her forum. But I guess once we had established our connection, it just felt so natural for us to begin something very powerful together. And so for me, it was just bringing in that mix, if you will, of the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies that are, within my own body and within my own energy, but to be supported by the two divine energies that are here in front of me today in the form of Shekinah Grace and Shekinah Ma. The two of you just brought in that divine feminine energy and sort of just embraced me in that trinity, if you will, of just welcoming me into that field and projecting that energy into my field as a nourishment for me to move forward with my own mission, right? And so I just felt that very powerfully when we came together, and we felt that nudge to bring forth the medicine that we three could hold in terms of just bringing that blessing and that guidance and our own grid work mission, our own essence of what the grid work mission meant when we brought that mission together for Canada, and just taking up the mantle of what we created with the Indigo Angel. And so for me, that was a very powerful beginning to whatever we are trying to build here within this cosmic space of the three of us. So I just wanted to acknowledge that and thank the two of you for coming into my life in such a divine and synchronistic way, and birthing that energy that we are bringing forward in prayer, in acknowledgement of our own divinity, and trying to clear our grids and our spaces, and bringing in that Christos energy and that Sophia energy and that pure blueprint as we have each seen in our own lives together, and forging that path forward. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Mm. Mm.
So if you'd like to
Such a
share.
divine meeting through this indigo angel vibration.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
really is kind of a beacon of light, and it felt like when she lit her beacon and we all tuned into that beacon, it drew us like it was a calling. And I listened to her, eventually decided to do the actual training to become this grid worker, because I feel like the earth is really calling us back home to her. She is like the mother of us all, right? And so she is really, like, I hear her song, like singing, wailing, like, like I hear like the Maori women when they wail at like a death, and I hear like the earth is wailing for us, the oceans, the animals, and so coming to Indigo Angel and then seeing Racquel on the training and just being like, this is what is meant to be. And then she's in Canada, and then simultaneously I'm seeing Shekinah Grace, and I've carried Shekinah for like 20 years as a spirit name given to me by these Judaic Israeli women that I worked at a Jewish preschool. And they were like calling me little Shekinah. I was like 19 years old and I had no idea what it even meant. But anyway, I carried the name as I was asked, and then I just started seeing like this divine feminine rising. This is like back in 1998 or something. So it's like, and then I live in the Kootenays here in the Kootenai, in the land of the Sinixt people, and then I see in this land this other Shekinah. And I'm like, what? This is two Shekinahs right here in the ancient Lemurian civilization site. of this land. And so I know we live in this very beautiful crystal, golden, silver, uranium, like we are just in this rich bed of earth here in vortices, portals, super sacred land. And I feel like, you know, the three of us coming together is a prophecy of its own that maybe we're answering without even fully realizing how it's all coming together. But I'm doing this Qatar training, and the Qatars have a prophecy, the people of Magdalena, and they say 700 years from that day is like now, and they say we will return. And I do feel we are returning, and we're connecting with our people again. And it's really a celebration. I feel a great celebration.
Mm.
Thank you. So beautiful.
Mm. Yeah, I also connected with first Racquel, I think, through Indy's channel. I also had been following her since, well, I think when she first started her YouTube channel, and I resonated so deeply with what she felt or identified as her like soul mission or her purpose, and yet I couldn't wrap my head around how I could step into um, what I felt was also my true purpose. So I just found her intriguing and fascinating that she just so boldly and courageously and like so self-knowingly stepped into that grid work, which I didn't have a name for at the time. And but yeah, I sensed it even more strongly come on for me in 2015. But yeah, just in my own private time was working with the grids. I'm a strong meditator. I can feel the earth and different landscapes and land masses, and the mineral and crystal kingdom speak to me and come through me as frequencies. And you know, like you both have shared, and Shekinah Ma mentioned the singing and the wailing. You know, all of this was happening for me in my personal life behind the scenes, but there was a part of me that longed for community and for connection in this type of work. And because Indigo was in the US and I felt so strongly, I was like, where are my Canadian? Where's my Canadian soul sisters? Where's my Canadian soul family to do this work? And then Racquel, when I saw you introduced on Indy's channel, I was like, she's in Canada. Finally found, so I messaged you right away and I was like, you're in Canada.
And you were very direct in that calling. You were like in the chat, hey, Indian woman, talk to me or text me or something like that, you know? And I was like, oh, she's speaking to me.
I just wanted to connect. I had no idea where it would lead, but I just wanted to connect with someone who was tuned in and on this landmass, like who was connected into this grid specifically of Turtle Island. And so it was just beautiful. I just mainly and desired the connection and to speak with other souls that spoke my language. And it was such an easy connection. And then Shekinah Ma came in, and you know, Shekinah Ma, I think somehow we connected way back on some level when I first moved out here through the Shekinah, but I just can't quite recall. I felt like we maybe messaged.
Will you offer like divine, like Egyptian belly dancing or sacred belly dancing? And like you do really beautiful works through Soma Studio. I think I'd seen you and I was like, oh my God.
Indian classical dance.
There you go. So I was like, I'm gonna hook up with that sister. Two Shekinahs in one place. Oh my goodness. So yeah.
Well, and thank you for anchoring that frequency here as well, because I hadn't really had the courage to like fully take on that name, but it had been appearing in my field throughout my massage therapy practice since 2005 as this blue light, almost like the Blu-ray.
Right.
And hearing and not quite knowing, and then the name showing up in like retreat centers of this, and I had no idea what the Shekinah was either, but I was receiving that what I was seeing in the bodies of clients I was working with was how God dwelled within us, how the spirit moved through the body as a communication system that links us in directly with source. And that's kind of just how I saw it. I saw it as a communication system with source. And then later, the more divine feminine or that Holy Spirit energy and the Shekinah name came forward. So so thank you. Like clearly the activation came more fully online for me when I moved into the Kootenays. So
Well, I want to say that, like, she got taken out, like we all as women know, the divine feminine was from the place of the beloved, from the place of the sacred, the Ma, you know, from this life giver frequency, the beauty way, and was cast out. And, you know, very well, it's very sad and sick, but turned into the horror, turned into this, you know, shameful, sinful, dirty, you know, just spell. It's a spell. And so we have been asked, I was directly asked to carry her name, that name, to bring back out of the shadow, out of the wreckage, out of the brothels, out of the streets, you know, the abused shelters that I worked in as a young person. Like, I've seen such horrible pain. And then, you know, being aware as empaths we've all talked about how we've heard the crying mothers. You know, we've just the pain that we know in doing our work for the trafficked children. So we're carrying so much. And that is why we need to bring in the Shekinah, but also all this beautiful Sophianic wisdom, bring it all back. And it's coming every direction. You don't have to look for it. It's coming to you. She is everywhere, and she is like reclaiming everything. So we're in just such a beautiful time. Even though we watch our ostrich beloved friends, you know, be put on the block, to have their heads chopped off, to God knows what they're going to do to these beloved ostrich people. This is the ostrich egg, and this is the ostrich feather. And these are a prehistoric sacred animal that carry the life codes of creation for millions of years. They have survived millions of years, and they have the antibodies in their eggs, in their sacred eggs, which is like, hello, this is medicine. This is sacred. This is a symbol of evolution. And the CFIA wants to slaughter them, wants to slaughter the cattle, the pig, the chicken, slaughter, death cult. The misuse of power is all around. So just wanted to drop that as an offering to this medicine pot that we hold, this cauldron that we create between us three, you know, where there's three in my name. Really, when there's two in my name, I am there, but we make the Trinity. So yeah. We wanted to offer today just this really introductive, but also like invitation to be able to help work with what is happening to all of the brothers and sisters out there, to be able to take an active part to help and raise the frequencies and bring healing, and through our power actually do the grid work to protect, you know, to bring a place of a boundary to this death cult. And yeah, I'll just put that there, and I'd love to hear your guys' reflections on that.
No, thank you for bringing that in. And yeah, just going off of what you said about the bringing in that aspect of the grid work, right? And so it's like, yeah, it was meant to be for us to bring that energy as a foundational work to what we three were experiencing, and to bring that divine energy, if you will, as an undercurrent, and bring those energies to light in all its forms, right? Because um, through my own personal experience, and as you have both demonstrated through your own experiences, we have confronted, if you will, the inversion not only of the divine feminine, but also of the divine masculine, right? And
Mm,
so, from my own experience, I've experienced this very, very traumatically in my life, right? And so,
mm,
as you both know, I tune into the Ascended Masters, and I've had that um, transformation, shall we say, that was first experienced by my body in the form of healing the divine masculine, not only in my own energy, but bringing that out into the field and through my own teachings. So, in a way, we have to create that foundation of aligning that wounded masculine energies to the forefront, and then tuning into that more refined, subtle, quiet, sensitive energies of the divine feminine energy, right? And so that has personally happened to me, where I was first tuning into Yeshua ben Joseph. And so he sort of laid that foundation, if you will, for me in bringing in that protection energy, in
mm,
bringing in that energy of trust, of belief, and of slaying in a way that inversion, right?
mm,
And then once I had aligned those energies within my own energy, within my own past life energies, I was then able to bring in that more subtle energy of the divine feminine energy. And my goodness, how gracefully that came in, but also how powerfully that came in. You know, it came in the form of Mary Magdalene, it came in the form of Buffalo White Woman, it came in the form of Isis. You know, so I've had all of these blessings in my life for being able to tune into these very powerful energies and bring in their teachings into my own life, and aligning those energies into my own being, right? And so there's that balance, if you will, and that understanding of what the divine feminine and what the divine masculine means in your own experience, within your own body, within your own emotional energy, within your own mental energy, and just correcting and realigning all of that. And I just wanted to bring that into a more realistic and more tangible way, that we were able to achieve that with our gridwork mission that happened in Canada. And that came through after our gridwork mission, where I got a transmission directly from Yeshua. And if you ladies don't mind, I would like to read that to you, but I've already sent that to you. But I just wanted to bring forth that tangible energy, that we were able to tune into this field of energy, if you will, that was anchored in that pure Christos and Sophia energy. So I just want to read that very briefly to you folks, and for those that are listening, and what we were able to achieve through our collective mission, if you will. So that will give people that are wanting to work with us and wanting to sign up, if you will, for our future missions, a flavor of what it is that we are working with. It's not just doing a grid work mission, but we are also bringing in those divine feminine, divine masculine, those Christos pure blueprint energies, in order to clear the field and bring it back to that 0 point energy and that purity, so that it's cleared from that inception point, if you will. So here goes. I was told that we did some very powerful work within the field, which is Turtle Island and North America. They specifically told me, and they, I mean by the Ascended Masters, they specifically told me that we reached a 0 point field that was of a very high vibrational frequency, such that we were able to heal the persecution, crucifixion wounds that were residual energies within the field of the earth's energy for Yeshua ben Joseph and Mary Magdalene. What this means is that we have corrected or course corrected 2,000 years of trauma and karma and inversion, bringing it to a close within that 0 point field. And with that clearing, and with the exit of the Pope, King Arthur was then able to come in powerfully as a warrior energy to evict those dark energies that exist within the Vatican. And again, we achieved that 0-point field for those Christos Sophia energies to be anchored in the field. So I thought that was very powerful with that transmission, because we were able to achieve that within that gridwork mission and that ceremony that we did on May 21st or March 21st. Was it March 21st? My dates are all a mess now. Is it April 21st? I can't remember now. Anyway, but I thought that was a really, really powerful transmission. And I can share screen if you folks would like, and just sort of bring that into your reality. Are you able to see my page?
Yeah.
So this is, okay, so it was April 21st. So this was the mission that we did for Canada. And what I just read was a result of this gridwork mission that we did. And so these were our intentions, which was to basically neutralize all of these dark energies and to dismantle all of these energies within the field, right? And so we were able to powerfully anchor that energy within the field.
I'd like to bring up that I know personally for myself, since specifically 2020, I was never really into politics. I was never really drawn to, I've kind of lived like that, a scene kind of vibration, living in like community, eating really good, high quality organic foods, doing yoga, meditation, dance, sacred living, motherhood, all the things. When 2020 rolled around, I basically got this download. I wrote a book. The whole thing just came through, and I tell you, since like becoming engaged in politics, it's just, and then seeing all these things transfer, protesting, doing petitions, trying to get involved, like boots on the ground, showing up, trying to like get involved. And and that all serves its purpose. But when I found this kind of level of work, it's like there's the causal realm and then there's the effect, right? We have the cause effect, we have that action reaction, we have that place where energetically it's all in this field, the causal, and then it comes down into form, into 3D, into density. So I'm finding that, working in there like a psychic surgeon or like a geomancer, getting to be able to work with the elementals, getting to be able to go into the missing and murdered Indigenous women, getting to go into, like Shekinah Grace has been doing this whole deep dive on Queen Victoria, as we're like coming through, like, why is this happening? What caused all of this? How do we, if you're a healer, rather than like a doctor will just write you a subscription, or you'll just go on like a surgical procedure. Whereas we're like going in there, like, Badger and the animal totems is this aggressive force that you want as a healer. You want the badger. They live underground. They know all the medicines. They know the roots to all the medicines. And it goes in there. And a lot of medicine people use that badger energy to just like heal, like get in there and heal, and don't stop, like don't give up, like keep going. So I feel so pleased to get to see this result and feel results from this work. Like you feel energetically better. Like the world around you will, like a chiropractic, adjustment, start to like release and come back into alignment.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
No,
just been such an
definitely,
honor to get to do this work.
Yeah, definitely. No, I definitely felt that as well right after. And every time we both or three of us experience a synchronicity, we text each other and it's like, hey, did you see that? Did you feel that? Did you read that? And it's like it's just so awesome that we each experience those manifestations coming through in the reality field, if you will, right?
Well, they say in like physics, as soon as you see something, it changes. And
Yeah.
so, there's this thing called spooky law at a distance, and it describes kind of like the scalar energy, wherein like, it's like it's like kind like a butterfly effect, but you like see something or, and then it changes all the way through, like the ripples through all of time and space. And
Yeah.
so when you call something out, it changes through all time and space. So it's like being a weaver, and weaving the tapestry and then going back into the woven tapestry and repairing where there's been glitches in the matrix. And then you come back and it's, everything just, it lifts and it resolves. It's like truth and reconciliation. You have to have truth to reconcile. And that is what we're doing.
Absolutely.
It happens so obviously in real time that even when we plan our grid work missions, what I notice is that it's difficult to plan in advance, because as soon as we speak it into the field and we work it with our consciousness and our heart and our intention, it's already shifted. So
Yeah.
by the time we get to, it's hard to keep up actually with the layers and the levels and the densities and the weaving, because it is so happening in the now that by the time we get to the mission, we're like, what? We are already done these points. Like we need to have new points now. So it's hard to advertise in advance, because so much more comes through once we've we've directed our consciousness in a direction to heal. It's like the whole Akashic field regarding that specific intention opens, and it's just like like so fast that like I love it. It's a wild ride, and I just love how quickly information is coming through, and like the synchronicities that you mentioned. But I also wanted to speak to the Magdalena, the Order of Magdalena and Mary Magdalene, and a reason I feel this is so effective work is because of the voice activation. We are using sound and frequency in our voices. We're not only praying in silence by ourselves, with nobody knowing the sentiment and the feeling and the gnosis of our heart and our intuition regarding these things. I just think it's such a key to the effectiveness of this type of healing, is that the voice and the leadership is being transmitted as a frequency, as a healing. And I think that's a key. That's what distinguishes this type of healing work, and the effectiveness of it, and the scale that it reaches compared to potentially like other healing modalities. So I just wanted to speak to that. Yeah, and you feel it in your own biology. As we do these missions, you feel the shifts and changes happening in our body, which is the earth. Earth and body are one and the same. So you feel your own network, your own meridians, your own grid starting to harmonize. And then even more information, even more of the nature spirits and the nature devas come in to help co-create and facilitate these missions. And it's just the most rewarding and remarkable, like, blessing of my life to connect with the both of you and be involved in this great work. I'm so, so grateful.
Yeah, I think you said very key words there, co-creation. It's that co-creative consciousness that sort of has been birthed, I think, between the three of us. And it's so beautiful. If you look on the screen, I think the three of us created this logo, which embodies what we're trying to do here. So I just wanted to bring that into the focus of everybody's attention. It's like, yes, the three of us created that from our own individual ideas. And so it's such a joy for me to be able to bring this forward in such a powerful way, right? And how we are creating these events and how we are bringing forth individual medicines to bring it forth in a cohesive manner that's actually making change and in a very tangible way. So I just wanted to continue with that discussion of bringing forth that frequency that Shekinah Grace just talked about. And as we introduce our events that are coming up. So the first one is happening tomorrow at 5:55 p.m. PST. And so we are bringing in that frequency of the full moon, the flower full moon of in Scorpio. And we are also going to combine it with a grid work mission. And so like the energies of this moon, we are going to hopefully be able to, in a way, confront that shadow energy, if you will, and bring that to the light and release it. And as our slogan says, you know, rise from the phoenix, rise like a phoenix from the ashes. But I'm sure Shekinah Ma will talk more about this alchemy, if you will, between our DNA and the energy of the scorpion, and bringing forth that energy of the eagle, and then finally rising as a phoenix. And so we're bringing all of these energies together as a foundation, if you will, and bringing that into our grid work mission, which we are hoping to focus on these energies that have come into our reality that are needing to be healed. And as Shekinah Ma said, Shekinah Grace has been doing a deep dive into the frequency, if you will, of what Queen Victoria, or the name Victoria, represents for us, particularly here in Canada, because we see it everywhere, right? But it also goes into that larger energy, if you will, of the inverted female or the inverted feminine energies, which could be called, you know, the Black Madonna or the spider energies, or like Shekinah Ma also said, you know, that energy of, what is it called? The darker energies, or the Kali energy, if you will, right? That brings out that energy of jealousy or of rage, if you will, right? And so it's all encompassing. That energy of the Divine Mother is all encompassing, but it's all one. It's all different aspects of that one energy. It's just how she brings forth that energy and how it comes into manifestation. And so we're going to bring all of that energy into this realm, if you will, through our mission tomorrow, and try to clear those energies within that 0 point energy field and revert it back to its original blueprint and purity, as we have been talking about, and that Sophia energy that exists within that pure energy in the field. So I'm happy if you guys want to bring whatever feels close to your heart in terms of this mission.
Well, just in holding this ostrich feather and knowing our 400 beloved ostrich people have their lives being weighed in this so-called justice system right now. And I just feel like, you know, the scorpion is the lower self. And the scorpion, when it's a little one, a baby, it's the most poisonous, eh? And so this whole energy of this colonizer, of this parasitic dark lord vibration, has caused the feminine to be in like an attack mode and to be in this protective state. We know a woman who's in her protective state can be very vindictive. And I feel like that is what has happened over this. You know, I think of the dragon, and I think of like the beautiful movie of the damsel, if you've ever seen the movie Damsel. And it's the story of the mother dragon who had her baby slayed. And so then there's a contract made by a dark queen to offer a virginal bride to this dragon, and it'll consume her. And it's this whole story of like kind of what's actually happened here on earth and in the daughters and the mothers of the earth. But in bringing all this to light, in Queen Victoria, and whose, you know, daughter is what Alberta is named after, and like Louise, and we start to begin to see all these hot spots all connect in the sorrow, in the vindictiveness, in the energies of the lower, lesser qualities. And we see this death cult that just wants to kill, right? Rather than to glorify and raise the vibration of healing and empowerment and life, like the offerings, the beauty way. Instead, it's this inverted downward spiral. So I just want to say that, you know, as within, so without, as above, so below. So when we're working in this way, when we're doing everything we can for these beloved birds, right? When we're doing everything we can for our Pachamama, for the air element, which I've been calling the dragons in, to clear all these cursed chemtrails, and, the air is our breath, and that is our minds, and then the waters are our emotions, right? And is our blood. So we have this intimate relationship. So we want to bring that scorpion energy up to the ego, to raise all the consciousness up to love, to bring the death cult out of power, to unplug it and to put it down and to put it in the fire, and then to put the cedar over it, and to allow for those smudging and purifications to occur, so that then the ego can rise up high and take us back to where we belong. Just like that song, Love Lift Us Up Where We Belong.
Mm-hmm.
Then to the phoenix, where then we transcend and ascend back up to 5D, 6D, out of the black cube, out of the box, out of our soul prison, out of this quarantined earth.
Mm-hmm.
That is our work. That is what we are all being called. We are the original stewards as humans, human, divine mortals. So yeah, this is a calling, and I hope we all can answer the call in whatever way we can.
Yeah. I think it's a love story. It's about, the relationship between like the Lilith archetype and the Magdalene, the rejected feminine, the outcast, the baby who was abandoned because she was conceived through carnal desire and lust, and then resented her wandering partner, the man who didn't stay by her side. Like there's these kind of codes with the Scorpio energy that I think we're healing and raising up into the heart, and restoring the heart womb connection, so that the womb is connected in with the heart, linked in with the heart energy. This feels part of what we're doing through the grid work mission. And, like embracing, loving, forgiving, just offering that unconditional divine love to all the rejected, denied, and like wounded aspects, and inviting in that Heros Gamos once again. Like there is, I would say, the relationship between Victoria and her husband, Prince Albert, I think is his name, was a love story, but it was very in the lower. There was a lot of desire. There was a lot of love also, but it was rooted in the emotional attachment and need to, just how in our society we never acknowledge the waters. We didn't understand the water element, our emotional bodies, right? For these things not to turn into the shadow. We denied and rejected our own. We weren't allowed to feel certain emotions on the spectrum, right? And then it's like, this is how the shadow comes about. And it was like, as this queen, monarch, Victoria energy, she was still a queen, a young queen in a predominantly like false patriarchal world. So she had to fight even harder to have her voice heard. So it like created this overlay of a shadow, that because Canada, is connected with, like, she was present when Canada's birthplace, when Canada became Canada. This has its influence over these lands. And so I feel like it's like, exactly, I'm just repeating a lot of what Shekinah Ma said, just with different languaging and words, but there is a heart womb healing, and a lifting up the energies from like the lust, emotional soup realm of, and clarifying that, and then bringing it into the Christed, sacred heart flame of truth, and true divine union codes. So this is what I see is happening. And I believe these Victoria spots almost carry the potential to restore the Heros Gamos, to restore the true love frequency, because it's victory
Right.
codes. So that's how I see these points as being victorious of that raising of the energy, acknowledging Victoria as a woman, not as a matriarch, or like not a monarch, sorry, and just lifting her from that enslavement in that role that she didn't really care to be in necessarily. When she became into it, she just wanted to be in love and with her family and her, so this is what I feel we're working with for this mission. And yeah, oh, and then the DNA upgrades, the genetic restoration and regenesis. There's very much Scorpio energies as well. And so this, I believe, happens through that Mother Arc portal when we reconnect with the cosmic Mother energy. I think now finally we can experience this genetic restoration to the original angelic blueprint. So that regenesis and that DNA and calling all the light back, all the soul fragments back. There's another piece here about how much the woman, the female saints, the solar feminine Christ energy, body part taken, and their skulls and their bones and different things. So I feel like there's also a calling in of all of that back to their soul essence, that belongs to these women. So that's like symbolic, but it's also very much what we're doing with this grid work. Because it feels part of the attempt to control that divine feminine rising energy, that phoenix rising energy. So it's like a soul healing, soul fragmentation mission, as well as what I feel that we're doing. Yeah, and I'll just say one thing about the Scorpio poison as a homeopathic. It can transmute, the positive power of the scorpion venom as a homeopathic remedy actually can cure.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that in. Nice. Yeah, I see that as a healing and uplifting energy, as you guys brought in, to lay that foundation, if you will, for us to bring forth those new earth energies that we are all wanting to birth in a way, right, from our own connections, whether personally or as a group collective. And so in a way we are clearing the field for that birthing, if you will, of those new earth energies, and bringing in that golden light to be anchored into this energy field, into that pure energy field and that frequency, so that that potential can be birthed in purity and in alignment with those higher dimensional pure energies of the Christ consciousness and the Sophia consciousness energies. And I think we powerfully anchored that through our last mission. And I feel like we are just sort of layering these missions, if you will, one on top of the other. And in a way, this leads into our next event, which is purely directed towards the female or the feminine energy and anchoring of that feminine energy, if you will. So if you folks feel called to move on, we can go on to the next event. And so for the people in the forum, I just wanted to let you folks know that I've posted a link to this website where you can go and sign up for this mission, which is happening on the 12th of May at 5:55 p.m. PST. And there is a form that you need to fill in at the end of this event page. So if you wish to join us in that field of healing energy and grid work, I'd really appreciate it for you to participate in this mission. So yeah, as I said, we're sort of laying the groundwork, if you will, for the upcoming mission as well, and that one is taking place on the 25th of June. And this one, we are powerfully bringing in the divine feminine energies for the new moon in Cancer on the 25th of June. And so again, we are layering that energy with that divine feminine energy, powerfully calling in the Sophia consciousness energies. And for me personally, and this came through in this visual that I created with that energy of Isis, you know, we talked about bringing in those fragmented pieces of our souls, of the divine feminine energy, and she powerfully came into my reality during the creation of this poster or this website and this mission, where she was really conscious for me in bringing forth and in encompassing all of that energy and bringing it into that collective field, if you will, and then into that Sophia consciousness. And so this is our intention, if you will, for the divine grid work that we're going to be doing, and for that anchoring of the divine feminine energies. But Shekinah Ma has also brought in some very powerful Cathar prophecy energies, which we are hoping to talk about and anchor during that event. And so, yeah, I'll open up the field if you guys want to bring your own flavor into what this mission is all about. And I'll just leave this on the screen for everybody to read and just to get familiar with what we're trying to bring in for this mission.
Right. And I would like to say with my daughters, I promised to be available in just another 15 minutes. So just to say that. But in this particular piece with this new moon in Cancer, which my daughter is Cancer and I am Capricorn. So we're very polar opposite, but it's always been such a journey and beautiful relation to be able to walk in that way as a mother with a daughter. To be able to do the 5 rites as was taught to me, as was the initiation of the pilgrims, of the hermits, of the people that were called to the cave of Mary Magdalena in the cave of Galamis, wherein they performed the 5 rites of this beautiful. It really is the washing away of all the, say, karmic dross. And this was also Isis's beautiful ceremonial offering she would do to her initiates, wherein she would put them into a clearing to turn into a bird form. Anyway, to be concise, we are going to clear the lower self and then initiate through the baptismal, the mists, the mysteries, that anointing, the anointed ones. We're going to do this over the feminine as a whole. We're going to bring the feminine as a whole into these 5 rites, into their crown. And it was amazing when I did this on my training. I am a teacher of little children, 2.5 to 5 years. I go and they all are wearing golden crowns, and they had made me a golden crown. So I just wanted to say I bawled my eyes out, and I was like, what? This is so magical. How does this even happen? But thank you, Goddess, for your absolute confirmation affirmation, you know. So that is what I would like to offer for this beautiful new moon in Cancer.
Thank you. And I think we are also doing a golden frequency meditation as well that I can bring forward for this session. And Shekinah, Grace, and myself will walk us through the grid work mission as we clear all of these energies that are within the field. As we have.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I feel like children will be a part of this mission.
Yeah. Absolutely. And yeah, this is open to all. So we welcome women, we welcome men, we welcome children, and we had a couple of kids as well for our Canadian mission. So yeah, we'd love to have anybody and everybody attend. So again, there is a form that you can fill out if you'd love to sign up for this mission at the end of this introduction. And then we move on to our next event that's coming up in July. This one is the full Bak Moon ceremony on the 10th of July at 5:55 p.m. And as you can see, there is a method to our madness here. We're bringing in the masculine energies. And so, there's that divine masculine that has been, in a way, wounded to no end on this earth plane and inverted on so many levels. And so it is our intention to bring that energy into the light and heal that energy with love and support from the divine feminine energies that we carry within our own energy field, and bring that into the masculine energy field and heal it from that 0 point energy in order to transmute all of that fallen dark energy within the divine masculine energy, within that Christos blueprint, if you will. And we see this every day within our lives, the patterning that we have had to live through for many hundreds of years, and how that patriarchy has woven itself in our lineage, in our everyday lives, in that, sort of inverted, aggressive sort of way. And so in a way, it has taken away that protective, that loving energy, that guardianship energy from the masculine energy, and has birthed this energy of aggression, of conquering, of acquiring, right, within the masculine energy. And so, in a way, that true masculine Christos energy has been overtaken by this inversion. And so, we are hoping to, with this ceremony and with this grid work, heal all of those energies and bring or correct that field and bring it back into that 0 point field and offer it up to the Divine Father and Divine Mother for cleansing and for clarity and for aligning us back into those true blueprints of the Christos blueprint.
I'd just like to, I've recently heard something that made very much sense to me, to be mindful that we don't use the term patriarchy too much so as to like blame, because it's not a true patriarchy what has taken place. So I just wanted to share that for our men out there, that there's the true matriarch, patriarch, divine relationship between these two energies, and like Holy Mother, Holy Father, as you said. But I wonder if there's another word we can meditate on to talk about what has taken place, because it's not patriarchy.
More of a savagery.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know so many divine masculine men that are just, and I love warriors, and I love, the idea of the masculine. Of obviously, as a woman, you're like, you crave it, you yearn for it when you don't have one. You're constantly seeking, the beloved. So I 100%, 111% love that. Yeah, let's stop calling it the patriarchy, the savagery. Huh. Yeah.
Well, to me, it's the inversion, right? In whatever form it manifests, right? And as you folks might know, I have been in that Draco energy field, if you will, through my early on aspect of my own personal ascension process, if you will. So it's like going into that root chakra, if you will, of survival, of struggle, of lack, and repairing all of those energy fields, right? Which is very much a masculine, very much a protective, very much an energy of trust, and rebuilding all of that into not only just healing my own masculine energies, but trying to share that with the collective in order to heal that energy within the collective as well. And so in whatever form that inversion shows up for the masculine, we would like to bring light to that and heal that from that true perspective and from that healed aspect within the field, within the divine energies of the mother. So hopefully that makes sense in terms of what we're trying to bring forward here. And again, going back to Yeshua and King Arthur, because I mentioned that because we were able to, during those initial ceremonies that we brought forth, these two beings came forward very powerfully as those divine Christos energies and anchored it within the field, within our reality, or within my reality as well. And so we hope to bring forth those true Christos consciousness energies for this ceremony, and wrap that energy within our reality during this whole ceremony. So that is our intention. Those are our prayers. And so we hope to see you all there for this ceremony as well. Again, there is another sign-up sheet at the bottom of that event. So we look forward to seeing you all there and participating in our events, as
Yeah,
we are all excited to go through these events that are coming up starting tomorrow. So thank you for being with us through these events and participating and bringing your own music. And I forgot to say this, you can participate in whatever way you'd like as well in each of these events. So if you would like to bring in your own music, your own voice, your own song, your own prayer, just mention that in the sign-up form, and we'll leave some space during the entire gridwork ceremony to allow for you to participate in a live way and in an interactive way during those each of those ceremonies. So yeah, we'd like to have you participate as well.
yeah. Just a quick shout out to Michelle Pylon, who's been listening with us here today and was messaging me. And I really would love to invite the sister to come and do a Cherokee Stargate ceremony with us, because she is right in the Cherokee Stargate lands, and her and I speak a lot. We both carry Cherokee vibration. I come from the bloodline of Cherokee and Choctaw, and it would just be such a pivotal energy. So I just, something has manifested in this beautiful Mother's Day blessing, and the people of the stars are returning. The Cherokee are the people of the stars, and the Star Nations, and just getting a lot of hits from a lot of beautiful star beings right now. So I just want to say this is just the beginning, and it's just gonna keep growing.
Absolutely, I believe that, sister. Thank you.
Mm.
Well, thank you both so much for being here today. This has been such a wonderful gathering, and for us to, bring forth all of these energies and share it with our friends and anybody that wishes to join us. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. We hope to see you in all of our grid mission going forward and all of our ceremonies. Thank you.
Blessings.
Thank you. Thank you.